Okay, we're back with the Victor Victrola the 12th. This is a very rare early model of this machine. 1908, 1909 they were produced, and the first couple thousand looked like this, plain Jane case. And the second couple thousand had some fancy curly cues on it and stuff. Same machine otherwise. This one has been in storage since last year, and it is going to a new home. It has a new owner now, and I'm just making a demonstration video here before it leaves. And a few bits of advice. The first one is watch the screws in the corners here. They will be a little bit loose because this era they used a very thin screw and they had to be taken off every time this was oiled, which was frequently, and they're a little bit worn. So not that this turntable is going anywhere, it weighs a ton, it's not going to move, but be careful with the screws. Don't try to over tighten them, leave them a little bit loose, leave them the way they are, because they're thinner than the later screws were. They're gold plated and they're pretty much impossible to find unless you find a VTLA that someone's willing to bust up for that particular style screw or another one of these, and that is simply impossible. Something this rare probably does belong in a museum, but now the museum can buy it from Jeff's estate sale and not mine, so he will take good care of it. He will play it. He will make sure it's not altered and abused, while I will simply have it wrapped up in plastic and stuffed in a closet, because I'm constantly working on machines and I really never have time to pay attention after they're done to any particular one. And it'd be a shame for this not to be used and played and enjoyed. And he will. He will. He has a good collection already, and this is going to make a nice addition to it. He's not even entrusting it to a shipping service. It's being hand delivered several states away, and I highly recommend that course of action whenever you're playing with something that is this rare and valuable, and you don't want it busted up by the shipping services. It will be a piece of history that will be lost forever. This is an entirely original machine. It's got the original finish. I did replace the felt. That's been replaced because the original felt was too moth-eaten. And it still has a few little spots on it already. That's probably from the records. I'm playing some records on it. These are from my personal collection, so these are nice, clean, good playing records, not my usual fare. This has already had its test records and all of that stuff back when I did it, so no need to do it twice. And I've only recently rebuilt that exhibition reproducer and tested it on the Victrola VIII, so we know that's good. You want to be careful with that crank. There's only a little stud holding it in there. It just screws onto a tiny little stub like this. These early female cranks can break very easily if you try to lift on them or do anything other than just crank. And you know, you got to be careful with them. This machine actually has a full floating horn, which is something the ordinary Victrolas wouldn't get until 1913 with the Victrola IX. So it's ahead of its time. It was ahead of its time, and it was built very heavy. This is extremely heavy wood. That lid easily is twice as heavy as you would find on a Victrola IX. Very, very thick, solid wood, solid construction. They took great pride in these machines at the Victor factory, and this was a premium model, gold-plated turntable. I mean, the VTLA obviously is the floor version of this, and they were more popular and made for more years, the Eldors, all of those. This was only made for a couple years. It just didn't catch on because everybody wanted the big machine. If you had the money to afford this machine in that era, then you spent a little bit more and you got the bigger, fancier version with all the cabinet space for records and all of that, because these were huge novelties at the time. This is a wealthy person's machine. This was not Joe Blow's machine. That was a Victor, you know, a little no, in 1908 it would have been a small Victor II or something like that, which was also very expensive. But these were super expensive. You could buy a car for what these cost. You know, they were very, very expensive in today's money. But let's play a record. Paul Whitman. This is What'll I Do waltz. A waltz. You notice I'm leaving the lid up. You should play it with the lid down. That's how you're supposed to play a Victrola. But it's too big of a pain in the neck for me to keep reaching over to grab it and lower it and not drop it. You know, this is not an ideal playing situation here, but this machine is simply too heavy to bring down to my workbench for the demonstration video here, so we are going to just do it this way. It's not that big of a deal, so. What do we got on this side? Lazy. Again, ball whipping. Okay. Now, I don't know if you heard it, but they did rumble a little bit. That's normal for this design of spring package in these motors, the triple spring motor. It was an archaic design, and they will rumble occasionally. That's normal. They all do that. Doesn't matter how many tons of grease you put on them, they're still going to do it. Just an occasional. This is not the thump and bump, it's just a little rumble now and then. Wondering. That's Sylvan. Ben Sylvan's now with the orchestra. Okay. Again, a nice clean record. Straight out of my collection. These are the ones that I've had for many years, actually. Collected over time. Carefully cleaned. And played occasionally. You can help it do that a little. There we go. Cast iron platter. needle off before I stab myself with it. Put the new needle on. Okay. I played both sides of that? I didn't, did I? No, I didn't. Well, try Hold Me. I don't think I played that one. Let's see. Probably could get a few more plays out of this spring wind, but why bother? Might as well just wind it. With clean records, you get more plays. Because the motor's not fighting the record. And with records that are not worn, like these records are definitely not worn. Okay, who do we have next? We'll play one more. How about Venetian Moon? What do we got here? And Swanee. Oh, Swanee, I know that one. I remember, well, obviously I know it. I remember it. Okay. Swanee, the All-Star Trio. Oh, look at that. I forgot to put the needle on the record. On the reproducer. Something I actually frequently do, but luckily it never makes it all the way down to the grooves. Okay. Swanee. Probably going to run out of video pretty soon, so we probably should stop now. Before it gets dark anyway. One thing, this has a tight spindle. You can see a little difficult to get the record off. Come on, come on. Work its way up. There we go. I don't want to crack it. There we go. Okay. I will show you with the lid closed what it looks like. You can tell it's higher than the later Victrolas, a little bit wider, and it's much heavier. That weighs, which is one of the reasons why I wasn't closing it for every record. I don't want to be reaching over there and risk dropping it at an awkward angle. And there we go, Victrola the 12th.